everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm revisiting the building block card that I've made. I've got a double and I've got a single version on the channel already, but I thought it'd be nice to revisit it in a slimline or DL size card. So this is taller and thinner, and I've used the gorgeous new Christmas Paddington to decorate this one. So this is how it looks when they take it out of the envelope. You've got that lovely image and sentiment which I've heat embossed, and then when you open it up you have the building blocks that pop out there. You could have little sentiments on these, you can have photos on these, stamped images, it's entirely up to you, but I just wanted to focus on the papers, and then inside here you've got your space there to be able to stamp and write your message. It's a really fun, very easy card style, this one. You don't need any specialty dies or anything, and it's really easy as well for the recipient to know obviously what to do with this one. They just need to take it out and display it, so there's no instructions needed for this one. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made it. So this is the Paddington Christmas set, so I'm using the stamp set from the Paddington's Christmas one. This one's called Festive Paddington. So Paddington's Christmas, and it's this image here, and I've already embossed it. And I've gone for these two papers here with gold mirrored card. So everything is all cut. It's actually going to be quite a quick video. It's just lots of mats and layers. So it's a deconstructed DL size card or slimline size card. You could score a piece of 12-inch cardstock at 4 and 8 and cut it so that it is 12 by 8 1/4, and that will give you a similar size card. But I like to do the deconstructed ones because most card makers have the smaller A4 or letter size card. But if you do have your 12 by 12 cardstock, then you can just use that measurement. So I've got one piece here that is 9 by 8 1/4, and I've scored at 1/2 inch and at 4 3/4. And then I have this piece here, which is your DL size, so 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. Then for the building blocks, you're going to want 4 pieces, and these are 1 3/4 by 4 1/2. And along that 4 1/2 side, you're going to score at 1/2, 2 1/4, and at 4. You don't have to have 4 of these. You could have 3 and you can make them wider. So the width you can change. You might just want to have 2, so you can play around with that. But this measurement here, the 4 1/2, you want to keep it at that. Next, you want to fold and burnish all of your score lines. Okay, so once you've folded all your score lines, this main piece, you want this to be a mountain fold, and then this tab will be a valley fold. So I'm just folding it one way and then folding it back towards me. Okay, and then I'm just going to snip just a little piece off of each end there, just so I don't get any of it coming out at the end. And then we're going to attach this piece onto here. So we've got that long card, that concertina card. So I'm going to use my construction glue here and just run that. Make sure you butt it right down into that fold. So I'm just bringing up the tab, you see here, just around onto the back there, because that's the position it needs to be in. So fold it all flat as well at the same time, so you know it's going to fit in your envelope. It all folds flat. If it's overhanging, I've got a little bit more overhanging on the top than I have on the bottom here, so I'm just going to make sure that I have pushed that right down into that fold. And if that's still the case, if it bothers you, then just pop it in your trimmer. You can cut it freehand, to be honest, but just very carefully just trim that off. I'm just going to give that all a really good burnish. Okay, so now we've got our card, and then with these pieces you're going to stick them all along or across this fold here where you've just joined that piece. What you want to do is focus on the middle fold of these pieces. So all your folds will be mountain folds like this. This middle fold you want to line up with this fold here. You should have about 1/4 inch gap between each one. So if I just sit them all down like so, and you'll see that I've got about 1/4 inch. So the easiest way to stick these down, I'm going to use the quick grab glue for this. I'm just going to add a little glue along there, along here. If you want to decorate the whole of these panels, so there is pattern paper or decoration behind these, then you need to stick that down first. But I've got thinner panels to go next to these. But again, you may want to change that. So now I'm just going to place this one down. So I've come down about 1/4 inch from the top there, and keep that nice and lined up and stick that down. Keep everything nice and straight. And then again, we'll take the next one and again come down about 1/4 inch. keeping everything nice and straight. And just repeat that with the other two. Okay, so once your glue's all dry, I'm just going to give that another good burnish. You go to fold it up, you'll see your building blocks or that pop out will appear. And we get that cool style. And it all folds down. Just again, make sure it all folds flat, which it does, and that's going to go in my envelope. So now all the mats and layers. The fold is really quick to do. So I've got myself here. The image here, I just sort of looked too lost if I'd done one big white panel with the image stamp. So you can see I've heat embossed the sentiment there, and then I've just used some of my coloured pencils to add a bit of colour to Paddington. Obviously Paddington traditionally has a blue coat, but because of the papers I'm using and the card colour, I thought I would give him a green one. So he's got his green Christmas coat on for this one. So that one's going to go there. Like I said, you can have a full panel if you want, and I'll give you the measurements for a full panel in a minute, so I will have one on the back. But then I've just added this extra panel at the bottom, and I thought it actually worked quite nicely. And then I've got these two that are going to go either side. I just bring that up like this. Okay, so they're going to go either side there. And then I have all of these squares that are going to go over all of those. Now you could make these little presents. You could put a little bow on them or something if you wanted to, or you know, if you've got some stamped images of presents, I think that would look quite nice. So if you want to do this same layout to me, like I said, you may decide that you want to cover a full layer on here and then stick these boxes on. If you want to do that, then you will want this size, which is 4 by 8 for the gold, and then 3 3/4 by 7 3/4 for the white. This is going on the back, so this is where I'm going to stamp and write my message. And again, I've heat embossed another image there, which is from, oh, it's from the other one, the festive Paddington, so it's just this one here. If you then want to do this same layout as me, you'll want this piece, which is 4 by 6, and then 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. This little one here, so you might have a bigger image that you can stamp and colour here, and then you could have your sentiment in this section, which I think would look nice. So you could have that down here and have it at the top. So there's quite a few ways to, you know, add your layers to this one. So this, the gold is 4 by 1 3/4, and then 3 3/4 by 1 1/2 for the pattern. You'll then want 2 pieces of 2 1/4 by 8, and then 2 by 7 3/4. And then these ones here, you'll want 8 pieces that are 1 1/2 squared and then 1 1/4 squared. So I'm going to get everything stuck down, and then I'm going to decide where I want to put this one on the back. So that's everything stuck down, and then I'm going to add, in fact, what I'll do before I add that decorations was stick this one on. So I think I'm going to stick mine actually on the back in the middle. You can do it obviously on that one if you want to hide the join, but it's pretty disguised, and I just think, I don't know, yeah, I'm going to pop it in the middle, but it's up to you. Okay, so whilst that's drying, I'm going to add a little bow just on here. And I've got some little gems here. I think I'm going to add a few. There's this really light green here. I've just placed them, but I thought it'd be nice to have them as part of the image, just to add a little bit of sparkle. Just move that one up a little bit. Just bring it up there so you can see it a bit closer. And then when you open it up, you have that lovely building block pop up. I'll have coming up now those other tutorials that are similar to this. You might want to, you know, if you want a different size, then check those ones out. But I'm really pleased with this one. I hope you've enjoyed it too. As always, everything I've used will be linked in the description box below the video. And if you've enjoyed today, please give me a thumbs up because it really does help out the channel. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.